All right, thank you. So I'd like to call to order the work session for this evening, Monday, February 2nd, 2026. Roll call, please.
Present.
Bergman,
Here.
Gallagher, Baker,
Here.
Capsella, Baker,
Here.
Vianney.
Here.
Perfect. If you'll join me for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, that's good. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. All right, so we have special citizens time in regards to our strategic plan comments. Do we have anybody in the audience that would like to speak? Kim, do we have any emails? No? All right.
Mayor,
Yes.
I do have comments from our planning commission, if you'd like for me to share them during this period.
Yes, please.
Okay, so we last met with the planning commission on January 20th. And I did discuss with both the commission and the architectural review board if they had any feedback regarding the strategic plan and the amendments to please let us know. So this is collectively from the planning commission. Number one, the mission statement, visions, values. The values, the word inclusive seems a little vague, would like to see it further defined. Number two, a request for the town park design plan to include or investigate an indoor recreational facility or a community facility. A side note on that, I did encourage those members who made that request to also be coming to the planning for the park design, charrette meetings, and also share that during those meetings as well. Number three, municipal parking, the 1.3 objective. A question was asked if there is a need for municipal parking. During that discussion, I shared that we would be looking at the location and the need of the parking lot, and that was what that initiative was angled towards. Number four deals with 2.1 and 2.3. Planning Commission suggested that the comprehensive plan be more of a priority than the CIP, suggested that 2.3 comprehensive plan move ahead of the CIP. During that, I explained that those initiatives under Section 2 were not in a numerical priority list, that they were just as we had discussed them, and that our top 10 priority list would be the set priorities as adopted by council, and that was in the top 10. Number 5, which is 6.3 goal, deals with 6.3, the community art section, design and install the love sign. Planning Commission would like to see the love sign come to fruition. I just gave an update on where we're at with the need to update a sign ordinance before we could move forward on this. And then lastly, there was a consensus that they felt the top priority should be the comprehensive plan since it had not been updated since 2008. So I will have Kim, we'll clean up these notes a little bit and then I'll send them via email so everyone has them for record, but those were the only feedback items. I have not heard from any citizens or other groups on any additional feedback.
Okay. All right, thank you. I think that that's all pertinent.
Yep. And thank the commission.
Mhm.
It was great
will.
feedback.
Absolutely. All right, if we are ready, then we will move on to Emily's report for the town manager, please.
If everyone has their regular agenda packet, you might want to look at that one or look at it electronically. The work session one uploaded and printed it incorrectly, just formatting wise. I'm going to start with our Monday morning excitement. So shortly after coming in this morning, Matt Burrows and I were discussing that we needed to do a walkthrough of the museum to close out everything with Crossroads Arts Alliance and prepare to move in Arts Van Gogh. And so after cheekily stating to Matt that I needed an hour for it to warm up, he very quickly let me know that we had a pipe burst in the museum. So we spent a good part of the morning over there with the fire department, Matt, our officer Coppage, and we were finally able to get all the water shut off after digging out the line to the main, shutting it off in the ground outside. So we do have a plumber, one that we're very familiar with and has worked on our buildings before. He's scheduled to come in Thursday, Friday. All the water is shut off to the building as of right now. We have notified Dawn with Arts Van Gogh that this has occurred. She does not have any classes scheduled to start until March timeframe. She was using February to move in, get everything set up, and work through that process. So thankfully, we are not in a scramble to get that done in the next 24 to 48 hours. So we'll ensure that everything is properly taken care of. We'll figure out, if we can, what the root of the problem was. Matt had been checking the buildings daily during this very significant cold snap, and everything was fine as we had left it on Friday. We are going to ask that Chief have one of the officers check it again around midnight tonight and let us know if anything has changed. And then I've spoken with Officer Coppage, and he's going to check it when he starts shift tomorrow. So we'll be in there more frequently, checking on everything. But right now, we are assessing what has happened. Our plan is to pull up the wood floor in the bathroom because so much water went under it. We might not be able to salvage all of that wood floor, and we'll need to look at putting a new flooring back over top in the bathroom. So we'll talk about something that's commercial, waterproof, and appropriate. So it may not match the rest of the museum floor, but we'll do our best to work with the integrity of it. We're just trying to avoid any mold issues. So that's where we stand on that. I will say the fire department was a huge help in bringing their shovels and gear and helping us get that taken care of. Unfortunately, right where it burst was about an inch below the internal shutoff on the inside. So a bit of a mess. And I have to say, Lydia jumped right in. I told her this is other duties as assigned, and she was helping us and out there with the shop vac that we quickly got a hold of Mr. Pastanello and got his on loan because ours is snowed in the garage. So
I
We
didn't
also-
charge. I didn't charge.
Yeah, thankfully.
Thank you,
we
sir.
also determined that maybe the shop vac stays on town hall in case it gets snowed in at the park garage again. So I'll keep everybody posted on what we figure out there as we progress through the week. So looking at the report and tracking log, update on the stormwater assessment program. So we were able to get additional engineering details out of the site plans and the as-built, so that should minimize a little bit more of the on-site surveying that's going to be needed. We will be having a follow-up meeting on this coming Thursday with the team, and we'll know better on Thursday what their date is for the on-site surveys that they're going to come out and do throughout town. This will be a couple-day process when they do come into town, so they'll be looking at all of the Fayette Street corridor, all of Jefferson Street from Washington south to the railroad. They'll be spending a lot of time there, especially in backyards. And then they're going to spend some time north on Jefferson Street as you get to the county line. And these are going to be our big topic areas that we've been looking at. Going through, Lydia is currently working on some zoning violations that have come up. So we have one in a residential area that is nearing the end of the violation window time. The property owner is coming on site and meeting with Lydia this coming week to have further discussions and see what needs to be finalized and taken care of. And also, we may be granting a slight time allowance just because of all the snow and ice, and all of this is outdoor cleanup and outdoor storage. So they really have lost about a week of work that they've been able to do because of the weather, if not more. So we'll keep everybody up to date on that one. The other one is in the industrial zone. We have received one complaint from a neighboring property, but we met with them last week here at Town Hall. They were very receptive and understood everything that we were asking of them. We are setting a follow-up meeting. They're going to come back in and talk to us on Monday, and they're also looking at further endeavors. They want to stay in the town and possibly expand. So they are very interested in getting everything taken care of and doing it the right way. So we're excited to have good feedback from both of those. Upcoming next week, we have our business roundtable kickoff for 2026. So February 10th at 9 a.m. We'll have coffee and pastries at 8:45 over at the hotel. So looking forward to seeing everybody there. We did get new notepads for our business roundtable. Those came in Friday. So you can come collect your notepad, visit everybody. Oh, you already got one. Look at that. Well, enjoy. Those are our new ones. We'll be making some for the town separately, but we are working on all of the kind of branding for our business group and continuing to show them that we're working to invest back into them. So they're very appreciative of that. The strategic plan, I'm looking forward to hearing if there's any additional comments we can discuss during our regular meeting, and as necessary, make the next steps on the adoption of that. Arts Van Gogh, we're finalizing the last few details on the lease. There are a few follow-up questions that I'm going to work with our town attorney on this week and get that signed again. I don't want to say it's serendipitous, but everything is okay coming to signing the lease a little bit later than expected, and our water issues. So we haven't seen much movement up at the town parks since all the snow. We did opt not to clear the gravel driveway up there with how icy everything was. We didn't want to overly encourage people to drive there and be sledding down towards Washington Street or playing on the structures with how icy it was. So we did make that call purposefully not to plow those two driveways out. But we will, like I said, move that shop back for future issues.
It's actually on my list.
Upcoming CXO meeting will also be on February 10th. So if you have any questions, please let me know. That will be scheduled at 11 a.m. We will be discussing the upcoming county budget. So we'll get a little bit of a preview, and then later in the month, the CXO will be presenting that to his board. The compensation study contract has been signed, and I am awaiting the outreach of the project director for that. Let's see.
Quick interruption.
Yes.
CXO, when I was ARB chair way back when and wanted welcome signs in town, I know Prince William County has a great sign manufacturing organization. Do we have any needs for signs? Maybe you can investigate that if you do with the CXO.
Signs, like exterior building signs, or?
I'm sure they could do exterior building signs, but even signs that you can plant between two posts.
We have been working with the print shop. I don't know if that's who you're referencing.
Well, I know they're down 234 Prince William Parkway, I guess, by the dump set that we
Okay.
have out there. Right past it, there's a left-hand turn that goes into a complex.
Okay,
And yeah, they design and manufacture.
we'll check it out. I do think soon I'll be discussing with council as well as the Architectural Review Board a possibly upgrade and redesign of our museum sign, and something that can further reflect the tenant that we have in there. So I think that could be a
Yep.
great resource for us that I'll look into. I will say we have been utilizing their print shop, and that's been a very great resource. They most recently helped us with our public hearing signs, got something a little more official for that, size-wise. So they have been a great asset there. So we are finalizing all of the scoping of work for the old post office building with the HVAC. We're trying to tighten the scope of work so that all of our HVAC contractors are going to be bidding on the same thing, and then hoping to collect bids no later than 7 days after that gets posted. Matt and I's goal was to get that out tomorrow, but little setback today with everything. So we will try to get that out this week still and have that ready. We have a couple contractors that we've worked with in the past on getting quotes, so they are on standby and have been notified to be ready to come out and take a look at the building. We're continuing to work through the Robinson's Paradise stormwater concerns. I will say it was very positive. The Buchanan partners had reached out and they have made contact with those homeowners and are taking them up on a conversation regarding their upcoming townhouse project and how their stormwater is going to be managed, and also trying to learn more about the stormwater issues on site. So I really appreciated that they went the extra mile there to meet with the homeowners. I have no update yet on the franchise agreements from Verizon or Comcast. So I was expecting that we would get one from Verizon around the holidays, but we'll follow up and see where they're at with that one. And then actively, Roberto and I, Chief and the finance liaisons, we are working on a couple different policies that are coming to finance liaisons. So investment policy, travel training policy, and the procurement policy. Investment you will see later this evening, but travel training and procurement, we are aiming to have those on our February work session date, along with a draft AI policy. We have not taken the AI policy to finance, as it at this time does not directly relate to financial endeavors. So everybody will see that one together the first time at the work session meeting. Land use planning, a lot of detail here, a lot of projects going on. We have a good number that are in the final phases of getting their as-built completed, working through bonding. A lot of this is occurring over at the Crossroads Village Center. We had a couple issues with, for example, the utility trench that sits behind CVS and is diagonal across the parking lot towards the new dental office. We're working on getting that paved and some of those items buttoned up before performance bonds are released. So working through that. If there's any specific questions on Crossroads Village or any of those projects over there, please do let me know. Chick-fil-A, the site plan for the second lane, there were a couple minor comments left on it. Planning Commission did grant a conditional approval. We're in the final stages of getting the signature documents back so that we can sign that. They will then be working through the bonding process and moving forward on construction. I do not have an updated timeline of how long that closure would take, but I'm sure as soon as we get bonds signed, they'll be able to give an update there.
So they're not going to shut down their entire operation, are they?
I don't know the answer to that. There's been discussion that they shouldn't need to, because the one side of it, carry out, walk-in, dine-in orders should not be overly impacted. So that's kind of what we're waiting to hear. And I think they're trying to determine if it was going to be quicker if they didn't have anybody on site and get the whole thing done, or can they remain open?
Okay. Thank you.
So yeah, as soon as we hear, we'll let you guys know. Robinson Paradise, I already went through that one. Robinson Village, we're finalizing some of the bonding agreements there. Next few have to do with Crossroads Village. Carter School, so we are continuing to process the Carter School site plan. That sits right there to the west of the VCA Healthy Paws and in front of Robinson Village. They are going to proceed with the site plan to put in a daycare, but they are talking amongst themselves and planning to submit an amendment so that they can apply for an SUP for a continued care facility. So they do have long-term goals, instead of building a daycare, to amend the site plan and do that other use. The self-storage lot, it would appear that the owner is actively trying to sell it while they're working through that preliminary site plan. Again, we do have an interested buyer, so we are going to meet with them this coming week and discuss options for that. And that is the RV storage lot back there.
On the other side
We
of the
have
track, right?
made, yes, we have made, thank you for But we made contact with Norfolk Southern, and we actually got some good feedback. We have a good point of contact now to call, and we are putting them in touch with the potential purchaser. The potential purchaser was very interested in costs for upgrades and how they could do their part to make it safer. We got ballpark numbers today on the phone. It wasn't in the millions yet, but it was pricey. So the discussion was there. We had it,
You made
but
the connection.
they can learn more about the agreement, the easements, and everything else. So
I can tell you there's significant engineering associated with any upgrade,
yes,
especially if they go to a system that's automatic.
they were discussing. Lydia kind of was talking them through some of the ideas that the potential buyer had, and they were already in the 300,000 figures. So I'm sure it'll only double
For
from
the
there,
sensors, man.
triple.
That is way beyond.
So
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
We have no update on the Blight Drive townhomes, so that project is still sitting on hold there. We do not yet have bonds, we just have the approved plan at this time. And then the other bigger one, so down at the bottom of Jefferson and Fayette Street, we are working with those property owners regarding the I guess how everything got finished being built out, as well as bond release. So we spoke with the developer, and when they came through the site plan phase, they over-engineered the landscaping that was required and possibly the lighting that was required on site. And now they're having a little bit of issue with just the sheer volume of trees and landscaping. They had 7 canopy trees per lot, and that's pretty excessive for how small those lots are. So homeowners certainly were not overly pleased, and so we are working with them. They're going to submit a site plan amendment and bring it down to what is required by our zoning ordinance. So we are working through that process. Hopefully we can get a good solution. We also had issues with utility lines and conflict with the roots of the trees and where they were placed. So all around, it was not a great endeavor. Otherwise, kind of business as usual. We're going to be starting the business license renewal process this month. Those letters are going out or have gone out. They'll be due at the end of April. We'll remind everybody next week at our business roundtable meeting that is the process currently happening. Farmers market applications went live. Julia is working on those. Small increase on the fee, but nominal based on what she is planning to offer this coming season. She's already received quite a few people walking in their applications or emailing them in. So people are very excited to come back. And then otherwise our events are set. We have the schedule ready, and that's kind of about everything unless there's specific questions.
Joe, did you have another question?
Yes, I do have a couple, if I can.
Okay.
Thank you, Emily.
Mhm.
I'm glad you guys got that resolved today.
Me too.
That's good news. Here, I guess this is for Kiki. Working on the one page for citizens. Is there a timeline on that when you think you might have that done? It's the,
We are probably hoping to get that out and finalized by the end of this month. So we had an old template that I had worked with a previous council on putting out, and it was more about our community connections. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but it was how to connect with us. And so we're taking that, we're redesigning it so we have community connections and events on one side, and then on the back side is that one-pager services.
Right.
That's out of the strategic plan. So Julia and Kim are working together on that. We hope to have it finalized and ready to publish the end of this month.
great.
We can bring it, if you guys want to see it, we can bring it to the work session. Is that, you guys
If you
want to see
have
it
it.
then?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think that would be amazing.
Yeah, Kim can make that note and chat with Julia, and we'll make sure to get a finalized draft for the
Super.
work session.
All right, thank you.
Mhm.
So I lost some lights due to the weather and it's buried under ice, so I can't get to the circuit breaker. So my question is, I've noticed a bunch of lights out in town. We're having an issue here. I don't know if it's the circuitry or what's going on.
So we have a combination of issues. We noticed that someone out with the storm, so we need things to thaw to figure that out.
Yeah.
We have some of the older lights are needing to be retrofitted, and so we need to get that scheduled to get those replaced. And then we had a significant issue down near Chick-fil-A where we had to rewire and get those fixed, but those should all be back up and running now. So I think some of the ones we've seen more recent are because of this past snowstorm.
That's what I figured.
Yeah.
I'm good. Thanks.
Ken, do you have anything?
No, I do not.
Justin?
She did great.
Alexander?
Yes, Emily, can you remind me again, what is the number of residents that would require us to maintain the streets, the stormwater, and all that stuff? What is it, 3,000?
3,500 for the road maintenance.
Okay,
And our last census had us, we'll call it 1,600.
I think there was some undercounting going on
Yeah.
there, right?
Well, we've had a couple,
I
more
would
than
say,
a couple developments since then, so.
That's what I'm
if you want to
asking,
err
right?
on the side of caution, I would say we have 2,000 residents.
Two-
that's what I would
2,000.
say.
That's including all developments, existing developments, the townhomes.
You could call it 2,100. to be even more
2,100.
Cautious. I don't think Robinson's Paradise was fully built out when the last census came out. I don't think it was.
Mm-mm. No, it wasn't.
How many,
But
how many
feel like we
residential
have-
units, apartments do we currently have? Do we know?
Apartments specifically.
Residential units, apartments and all that stuff. Do we know any idea how many there are?
Roberto can give you the exact tally. I can tell you,
So we,
go ahead. Yeah, please.
so
Go ahead, Dave.
last year's assessments, we had 621 residentials, 2 multi-family units, 74 commercials, on the total properties, and then we have about 20
Okay.
most likely residential homes. So in total, we have 734 parcels.
And-
Yeah, I mean, the reason I'm asking all these questions, I don't know if we're gonna ever get to the 3,500, right? Is that something that we're tracking, right? Every time we're thinking about approving a residential development and so forth, something I think we have to take into consideration, right? And again, it doesn't help that the census did not accurately capture the number of residents in the town, right? To give us a better idea, but hopefully, I don't know, we'll see.
The last census was done when?
It was delayed because of COVID, so it came out in, I believe it was it 21?
So it's
I think
been
it was 21.
more than a couple of years.
And then there, again, they're also, at least in my neighborhood, there are people renting their basement.
Right.
All that stuff, yeah.
Is that being captured?
I don't think so.
Under the table.
Under the
Yeah.
table.
Yeah.
Okay.
Multifamily units.
Dave, I know you just came in.
Should read
Emily just did her report, didn't know if
I was
any of
reading it
your
on the
things,
bus.
okay, that's fine. Did you have any questions
I did
for
not,
her?
no.
Okay, all right, awesome.
Or did you have?
I was gonna say, looking real quick at that, 2022 population, now it says we're at 1,590.
Oh, no way.
No.
No.
Uh-uh.
Yeah. No way.
Wow, look,
Thank
we
you
all
for
agree
looking.
on that.
Yeah. Not too often.
We could start door knocking, do a town of Haymarket survey.
No.
No, that's,
All
It's
right.
cold out there right now.
yeah, no, not right now.
If nobody else has anything else, we can let Emily go.
I had one other quick thing. I hope everybody's been reading their emails. So I've been sending some weeklies. What I'm trying to do in this new year is send all of your weeklies in the same email chain so that you have some of the backs. So I'll do it per month. So I'll start a new one for February and you'll have that tracked in that chain there. A couple items of note. I did ask if you had any recommendations or things you wanted to see in the draft budget to please send me over those comments. Ideally, in the next 24 hours, we had one of those turned in end of last week, but if you can do it, sometime tomorrow, that would be really appreciative. We're going to start talking with the finance liaisons on Wednesday about the draft budget there. So you can also talk with one of them and send comments in to that meeting if you can't attend in person. That'll be at 2:00 on Wednesday. And then the only other update I had, I just wanted to let everyone know that I did get into the Women's Institute. So I will be starting that in March. It'll be once a month, and it's for 2 days during the week. Typically falls on the last week of the month, but I will send a calendar invite to everybody just so you know when I'll be out of office for those. So just want to give everybody an update.
Congratulations.
And then the last housekeeping, everybody is to give Kim their correspondence tonight if you wish to attend VML's Small Towns Conference. It is in Chincoteague this year. It is May 14th and May 15th. And we need to know so we can register you. Last year there was a wait list, so let us know. Yes.
For how long does that run for you? What you got
The
accepted?
Institute,
in-
it's
Institute.
March through October. So the final, the week of Haymarket Day is exciting. We have annual VML conference. The final Institute dates are the 15th, 16th, and then we're partying in Haymarket on the 17th for Haymarket Day.
Yeah. Good for you.
It'll be fun. It'll be busy. It'll be good.
Awesome. Thank you, Emily. All right, we're ready for you, Chief.
Good evening, everybody. Hope you're doing well and staying warm. My gosh, what a cold week. All right, so the beginning on first page of my document, 108 calls for service between reportable and non-reportable. And then if you look at trending data, we're not at our record high, but we're not at our record low. We're right in the middle, which is a good place to be. I'll take it for January. And you can look at the 5-year trends on that, and it breaks down direct contact calls for service and combined calls for service. Business checks, we actually did peak at 2,832 business checks. As you can see that when you look at the 5-year trend, that is the highest amount for a December-January reporting period, which is a good thing. It means the guys are getting to spend time in the field and do preventive calls for service. Preventive law enforcement. So average response time is remained pretty static. We had 95 traffic stops with 41 summonses written and 56 warnings given. And then you'll see the breakdown, and we're right on target for our 2025 stat for January, which was very consistent with last year. And then you can look at the breakdown by summons that was written, how many summonses of each. And again, that was relatively consistent. And then the 4-year trend, again, no peak, no bottom, right in the middle for a January. And then the year-to-date traffic summons is obviously, it's way too early to extrapolate any of that data and worry about it. We worked 44 grant hours through DMV this reporting period, which would cover October, November, and December. And then you see the wages there listed. And then the breakdown of summonses written between DMV grant hours and non-DMV grant hours. 4 arrest was made this last month. And then you can see the hours and spent on calls for service and investigations, along with our out-of-town activity, which was high for a January, but not at our highest point ever. Backup support from outside agencies was 9, and then hours spent responding to calls for service is at 6 outside agencies coming in. Going down to the traffic data, we were actually down this month on vehicles traveling both eastbound and westbound, but you can see the breakage by week, the week period or the month period that we covered. And then also when you get down to the speeding data, the December-January speed data, you'll see the percentage of vehicles overall at the bottom of each block, both eastbound and westbound. And of course, we're going to start our monthly data there. You can see the dots broken down by speed. And then as we look to our current projects and statuses, kind of moving down, we are well into the planning of our 3rd annual senior summit. Registration for both vendors and attendees is open and trending very well. We did receive the verification letter for our drone grant, and we are actually in the procurement stage with that. We have signed on the notice to proceed. All grant applicant work has been submitted. We had Town Manager Krause sound the saga, and we're moving forward with that project. The in-car camera project, along with the new BWCs, is moving along. We did the notice to proceed with that, had a kickoff meeting on January 9th. We've received 99% of our equipment that's in my office stacked up to the ceiling. And it looks like next week we'll be able to start installing those in our vehicles. And keep in mind with that project, that camera is not just a dash mounted camera. We actually have a prisoner compartment camera, which allows us to keep track of the prisoner better and then make sure that our officers are doing their jobs when they have an arrestee in there and carrying custody, so to speak. Then also the grant from Firehouse Subs that Officer Galbraith wrote up. We're beyond the procurement stage now. That equipment has arrived, is in-house. We actually had a meeting with Mr. Castro today, the owner of our local Firehouse Subs. We're going to plan a little event down at his area where, you know, kids can be involved and the public can be involved and then showcase the $14,000 worth of AEDs that the Firehouse Subs Foundation procured for us. So that's a good thing. A couple of speaking engagements that you can see that we did this month between Primrose Academy and some Girl Scouts. And then the small protest, protest was had at the intersection of 15 and Heathcote. No issues. It was very cold that day, but there was about 100 attendees. We're still in the planning and research development of our e-summons. Looking forward to that. We have another meeting lined up this month. Some DCJS reports on death in custody and both use and force were submitted as per code. We delivered about 100 pounds of food to the Haymarket Pantry that we collected prior to Christmas. Got that to them. Our first aid kits have been updated and have been deployed to the field currently. All equipment that we used from Prince William County Emergency Services for our Christmas event has been returned. Graphics for our PD cruisers for the accreditation stickers have been ordered. And then we completed our Drive Sober campaign or Get Pulled Over campaign on January 1st. And then if you look, we've already scheduled 46 events coming up. Obviously, it's a Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign for Super Bowl Sunday. And then the Polar Plunge. I'm looking forward to seeing Councilman Banyai jump into the river with me. I think, Madam Clerk, don't we have him on record last year? Saying
I always wonder who's going to get called out. Like,
So I don't know if Mr. Gallagher has told you, but I'm stupid and like to volunteer for things like that.
That's on record.
I'll pick you up on the way through town. All right, I'm going to turn it back to you, Mayor.
All right, thank you so much. Did anybody have any questions for Chief?
No, just very comprehensive. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Everybody good?
Huh? Yeah, that's all good.
Okay.
You're good.
Alexander's not going to ask any questions.
No, he's trying to get out of the
I've got the
plunge.
key to it. I've got the key.
He's trying to get out of the plunge. He's not going to ask any questions.
Laid up that silver platter for
He's
him.
he's like, hello.
Might be some good news. We might, when we jump in, it might just be ice.
Yeah, it's going to be like super, super cold this year.
Now, I was actually going to make a comment about this, the bill that you mentioned that allows placement of speed cameras in areas outside of school zones. But it looks like, to my disappointment, the revenue goes to the state, not the locality.
So,
Yeah.
did you have a specific question? I couldn't.
No. I was just,
Just a
I
comment.
was going to say that I'm looking forward to passing that bill, but it's not going to, it will deter speeding, but from a revenue perspective, it goes to the state apparently, not to the
At the
locality.
Local jurisdiction.
Correct, but it hasn't went through yet, so we
It
don't.
hasn't,
Yeah, we don't know. I think Councilman Pessanelli, I think I sent that to you.
No, I was wondering what the bill number was. So I could
13, 14, no.
1233, I think.
I can't.
HB or is it?
SB,
Senate or House?
SB 1233.
Okay, there you go, 12:30.
SB.
SB 1233.
Oh, Senate, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
I was, well, I meant to send it to you. I was reasonably sure I did, but maybe I didn't. But I'll forward it to, I mean, he's already got it, but I can forward it to you to look at. I mentioned it briefly in
Yeah.
finance meeting.
That's right.
So in my mind, I sent it to you.
All right, can you repeat the numbers again?
SB, SB
Yeah.
1233.
You don't know who the sponsor is, do you?
Yeah, but
Okay.
just from a deterrence perspective, not from the revenue, but we'll see what happens with the
And that's for them to be placed outside of
schools.
school zones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Late question.
Sure.
Any progress moving forward for, I guess, added fines for speeding in town?
No, but we're going to discuss that with the budget session. And I did contact VDOT just this last week. Well, I contacted VDOT last week a bunch of times, but I did contact VDOT and got set up with traffic and engineering. And then I'm going to try to see when the town manager's schedule is available so we can actually meet and discuss that and some other traffic calming initiatives and speeding initiatives that we want to do. So we haven't moved forward, but we're setting it in place to do so.
Okay,
you.
thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
All right, we're good?
Yep.
All right. So we have 4 agenda items for tonight's work session. The first agenda item is the monthly financial report. Roberto, please.
15 minutes.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. It's a few items here, the agendas. With the financial report, is there any specific questions on it? I can tell you that we are on par to meet the revenues, and on some portions, we are going to go over. There's a more up-to-date, I believe, on the regular meeting, which has fully collected some of the meals taxes and some of the taxes we had not at the time that this report was printed. So I don't know if there's specific questions on that monthly.
Could you just remind me when the business licenses are going out?
Yeah, so the business licenses are due on April 30th. Alexander has already sent out via mail and I believe email for some of the businesses. But we have been seeing them slowly come in, and a few people just trying to get them taken care of ahead of time. So we won't see that around mid-April. You'll see some of it, but right towards the end of April. So around May is when you'll see a better scope of those.
Okay.
Those revenues.
Perfect, thank you.
Mhm.
Anyone else have anything for Roberto? No? No? President Ali?
Not at this time.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm out of place here because I don't seem to be fully up to speed with my reading. Sorry, people. I guess with all the new training that we're kind of focusing on, was there any type of money shift that was required for it?
No. In fact, we've always, at least on the administrative side, that budget's always been budgeted in a way that we have the opportunity for the town manager. But the last 2 years, she's either been preoccupied with some of the town manager duties or out having a baby, so she wasn't able to attend some of those meetings. But as of right now, this current training that she has been awarded actually falls in between 2 different budgets, fiscal years. So we should be fine, but I'll keep an eye on it. But there's no needs to shift monies around for that.
Yeah, because I know with our participation and our group push to participate with the municipal leagues and everything, and the travel expenses associated, I didn't know if we were coming close to our budgets that we projected or not,
So
and the policies associated with it to try and restrain that and everything else.
So let me correct myself. Specifically to the council, administrator, then council, it's its own thing on the budget. We will probably have to relook at that. We have shifted funds this past year. I know during the budget season, we're looking to up that a little bit more, considering that we are working on a travel policy specifically for council, aside from staff. The reason you guys, as we presented and see, you guys will see why there's a little bit more things you guys do that we wouldn't do. So we actually are creating a policy for council itself, for council to look at, review, make comments on. I believe right now, the manager has sent it over to the finance liaisons for their first review of it, and it'll be up for discussion before we present it to council as a whole.
Yeah, because that's what I was trying to do is cross the information with the financial liaison report, and I didn't, through the quick perusal, see anything in the liaison report yet on that. So I was just wondering if that was something to look forward to.
It is something we, in working on the travel policy, I believe the manager and I had come to a conclusion that it would be a better idea to separate the councils with the staffs. So we have just worked on the first initial draft, kind of mirroring the town policy, the staff policy, but geared more towards council as a whole, as you guys will go into different opportunities that we do. And that is what we have given out to our finance liaisons for them to take a first eyes on. And obviously, once they're okay with it or somewhat of a good place with it, we'll bring it up to council for the full-on discussion.
And if I could just add to that real quick. So a big element of the council and how I have it phrased, it's elected or appointed officials travel policy. So a big element that I put in there is that there will be a, for lack of a better word right now, turn taking. And so there's going to be criteria in there that encourages everyone to go, but we're also looking at who went most recently. Is this a conference that is annual and it changes information being presented? Is it the same training that really doesn't change? So we're working those elements into it. Again, finance liaisons do have that currently for review. And then on the staff side of it, the administrative side, what we've put into our policy is that pre-budget season. So right now, all of staff members have been tasked with looking at what conferences do they want to attend, when do they fall. We have a really good idea at this point about how much all of ours cost. We have a good idea of what the hotel rooms would cost and how frequently we're going to these. So this institute, it's kind of the rare thing that gets thrown in there, and as needed, we would adjust. But otherwise, when Roberto puts together the draft budget, he has talked with staff and we have an idea of what to expect for the year.
Yep, that's good. I mean, my concern up front was I wanted participation, but we didn't exactly know what to expect. Now that we're starting to get data, we can put guardrails up. And that's what I was making sure that we were focusing on.
Absolutely. Yes. So that's that policy that I'm hoping you guys will have on February 23rd. It'll have come through the finance liaisons and you'll have a finalized draft at that point.
Well, let me just
Hopefully.
add for further clarity. We got that policy a few days ago. We've been talking about it, and we'll have a discussion this Wednesday. We'll get into the meat of it and have a better sense of it. We'll be like the first vetting group, and then it goes to the council, and then you can just have at it.
And
But there was-
finance is meeting weekly in February. So if anyone wants to attend, we have a couple weeks to be working
Thanks for
on it.
reminding me.
I'm looking forward to it, Joe.
Yeah. No, it was a good idea during budget season to do that, so.
Absolutely.
But I think, some of the concerns related to the travel, and I'm hopefully not repeating you, is you have, like you say, you have to put some parameters and limits to it, making sure everybody has an opportunity and that we don't overindulge, for lack of a better term.
Yes.
Agreed.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't the culprit of ending up giving us so much creep that everyone's getting a little bit scared. But as long as we put guardrails, we should be good. Thanks.
I feel like the policies are all good. Anything else, gentlemen? No?
Not right now.
All right. Thank you, Roberto.
Do you want to talk about the next stuff? Or has it,
Yep.
it's
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's go.
Let's
All right.
go.
The other one, the budget amendment. This is a pretty straightforward. I believe I had talked to you last month about it. Our events coordinator, she's doing a great job on her sponsorships, so well that she actually met and surpassed the budgeted amount. This is just to be able to recognize it in the budget officially, so she is able to continue spending the funds through her sponsorships and for her events. So basically, it's just recognizing the additional $9,525 that she has collected through sponsorships and breaking it out on the expenditure side so she can use it as it's meant to be.
Any questions?
How about I segue into something we were talking about too? And you're also thinking about a policy for rebalancing the budget, correct?
Correct.
So maybe you might want to speak a little bit about that.
So, getting ahead of me there, but right now I'm really focused on the budget. I am going to work in talking with the last meeting with the two finance liaisons. I'm going to present to them a rebalancing amendment ordinance that the council would have to review and approve. But basically, that would be to ensure kind of what happened not on this amendment, but if we need to rebalance within a department, say the police department's line 2 and B, one of them needs more, but the other one has less, we can I can shift the monies around as long as I also report on it to council. But just for proper guidance and also just transparency, create a policy that allows me as a treasurer to do that as long as I'm meeting those requirements and staying within those parameters. This is something that the town of Vienna has done. They do have an ordinance this way. So that is what I'm going to be working on, drafting up to have to the finance liaisons. Once we can come to agreement there, we'll bring it up here, and council as a whole will also be able to discuss and give opinions on feedback on it. So
And
that's
that would-
something I am working on.
And that would be within the department only?
Yes,
So
correct.
it's not-
That'll
It
be
does
within-
not cross over?
It does not cross
Okay.
over. Anything that would cross over would just be brought up as any normal amendment we brought up to council. But this is more just to kind of to eliminate some of those housekeeping things we can do as far as like the rental that we saw last month.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anything on that topic? All right. So Roberto, we'd like to move on to the budget schedule, please.
Okay, so the budget schedule in front of you, it's pretty much going to follow what we've done the past 2 years, with the exception that the town manager had made a request to actually put the presentation in the front. Usually we have tended, and it makes total sense for her wanting to do it this way, because usually we go through the process of presenting the budget, kind of discussing it, having our time to work sessions on it, and then we present it at the end. I think the goal is to actually present it up front and then have those discussions going forward. The initial, on February 23rd, I'll be asking for the official directive to promote the 2 public notices that we'll need to do, hearings. One is going to be for the real estate and fee schedule, and the other one will be on the proposed budget. Again, Councilman Capasala, since it's the first time you've been here, the proposed real estate rate will be basically, I'm going to present a rate, which in this case, I can tell you it's going to be the flat rate, the current rate. What that does is I'm going to present it. Doesn't mean it'll stay there. As council as a whole can vote on reducing it, but it cannot vote to increase it. As it won't, that's basically the threshold. It can't go any higher than that. We just need to make sure that the public hearing is set in time. I'm going to set it for April 6th, so it gives us time, council to discuss it, and also for the residents to come in and comment on it. I don't know if there's any specific questions on this proposed schedule, but appreciate any feedback on it.
Does anybody have any questions, comments on the schedule?
Is a month relief time for passing this good enough? Because it looks like we're passing it in the June meeting.
Yes. So I tend to give it enough time to make sure that everyone gets a say on it. I don't want, we could do it before that, but it's worked in the past by the June 1st, the first meeting in June. Technically, this budget ends on June 30th, so it gives us time. It's a lot better than prior administration, that not you guys, but the prior, we waited till June 28th to do so. That was a little bit more stressful.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is fair. But then again, as long as we meet the requirements of when we have the public hearing. Well, unlikely in this one because the public hearings would be set, so you could have a special meeting to do it 7 days after the May 4th, if that is what council wishes to do. But I feel like trying to keep it, trying to also be conscious of the pain, you guys, when it might as well keep it when we're in a regular meeting here. So,
Absolutely.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So then, thank you, Roberto.
mhm.
Our last item is the draft investment policy.
Yes. So I know we've been talking about this for a while, but I did wrote a memo in there kind of trying to describe why we're doing this and also kind of the timeline. This started back in September, where I began writing this policy for full disclosure with assistance from other fellow treasurers. I took of some of the treasurers that are kind of mentors that I've made connections with to try to put a policy that's already in place. From September till now, though, with meetings with the finance liaisons, we've actually created one that's molded more to the town's how the town does business. Through the investment policies, there's about in the state of Virginia, there's about 13 ways we can invest the funds, but we narrowed it down to 6. 6 that actually seem more in line to what the town does and also our size. We have gone back and forth since October with finance liaisons when it comes to this policy. It's great discussions. And also we had our town attorney review it. Yes, to review it. Added some good comments on there too. And I know I didn't want to put the resolution on this because I wanted to not make anyone feel like it's a time constraint. This is just it's been vetted by finance liaisons and our town attorney. But obviously, I hope that the rest of council takes the time to review it, see if there's any more in-depth questions they want to know about. We can discuss it at a later time. But this is probably the closest to the finished product, minus the whole council's opinions and feedback.
I really appreciated the permitted investment graph there, which makes it very simple to follow. And could not be more appreciative of the glossary. So thank you very much. I feel like overall, it's a very well thought out policy. Those are my thoughts.
We're running out of time and we've got Michael up and ready to come on. So
Okay.
I don't know if you want to continue this conversation at the regular meeting.
Let's do it
Sure.
at the regular meeting.
Yeah, let's just do it at the regular meeting if everybody's all right.
Go ahead and adjourn this
Yeah.
so we can start up the regular meeting.
So if I have a proposal to adjourn this meeting, we'll pick it up in the regular meeting.
Move to adjourn.
I've got a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Right, we'll take a 5-minute recess to set up for our 7 o'clock meeting. Thank you.
Super.